What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premier League Unpacked. First of all, I just want to give my apologies for last week not being available and not putting the show up due to man being on holiday. It was eventful, but we got my guy Goon Elite in the cut and DSG. What you telling me, boys? You good?
All good, man. All good, bro. You got the celebrations, man. You got the celebrations, but we'll keep that offline, innit, bro? Congrats to you anyway.
Yeah, man. For people that don't know, obviously, man proposed over the last couple of days or so, dropped on one knee like a real man. You get me, and did the job. But look, it's been eventful. But I'm glad to be back, glad to be podcasting, glad to be with the guys. Obviously, unfortunately, Bish and Patrick couldn't make it today. But again, the channel links are in the description. Make sure you click on the links and subscribe to the channels. Again, with Goon Elite and DSG as well. Their channel links are there. Make sure you show the man them some love. Click down and subscribe. It's free of charge. Make sure you smash a like on this video. But we're going to get into it. We've got a few topics to discuss. First one being Arsenal. Now 10 games to go. We're going to have to come to Goonali first. You get me? We're out of the Europa League. One competition to focus on. Talk to me, bro. Are we going to do this or what? Because I'm confident. I'm confident.
Do you know what? I'll be real with you. I think my confidence comes from the fact that Man City have a lot of games to play. I think they've got a lot of games to play, and I just can't see them winning every Premier League game. I really can't. I think they're going to slip up. But Arsenal are a great team. We're a really, really good team, but we have got some really difficult away fixtures. And I'm not saying we're going to lose them, but for me to believe that Arsenal are going to win every single one of them, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. But honestly, the way that we're brushing teams aside, it's great to see, man. It's great to see. But I am nervous. I am nervous because we are now out of Europa League. And listen, all the chickens are going to come home to roost if we don't win this Premier League after being out of 3 competitions now. So, yeah,
It's
man.
going to be mad, in it, if we don't win it, bro. I'm telling you, it's going to be so heartbreaking. It's unreal. I'm not going to lie.
And listen, as you said at the start, 10 games left, man. So I think from this position, this last quarter now, isn't it? Basically, like I think Leeds is the next game we've got, and they've got Man City have got Liverpool, and then we've got Liverpool, we've got West Ham away and stuff. But so look, it's going to be tricky. Whatever, it's going to be tricky. So I'm just hoping that we can pull it home, but it's not going to be easy by any stretch.
What was your thoughts on the Crystal Palace game? Obviously, they sacked Patrick Vieira. For me, I don't think that was a good choice from Palace. I think they did him a little bit dirty there. Since Roy Hodgson went and Vieira's come in, the guys flipped it on its head, really, when you deep the situations, got them playing good football, bringing youngsters through. And I think he was done unjustly. I think you got to look at the running that he's had as well. He's had to play some tough games. You get me? So, new manager bounce can happen. We've seen it when we played Everton at Goodison. But it looks like the boys have got that spirit, man. It's absolutely done a number on him. What did you make of the game?
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I want Crystal Palace to go down, bro. I want them to get relegated. I hate clubs when they do stupid stuff. The way they've treated Patrick Vieira, the next 10 games they've got, they would have made it out. I think they would have, as I said, I think the Man City game for me, I watched that when they played Crystal Palace, and I thought that Crystal Palace worked hard. That didn't look like a team that gave in. They've not given him a striker. How the hell on God's green earth are you meant to do anything when you've got Edouard up front, man? It's ridiculous. It's a joke. So, I mean, it's not fair, really. And yes, it didn't look great because he hadn't won in 2023. And in the last couple of games, he wasn't having a shot on target for his team. And you could say, like, the likes of AU playing and stuff like that. But, bro, the guy's working on a shoestring budget and and people are expecting he's in 12th position. Like he's fully like in the mix, 17th, 16th. My man's in 12th, bro. Like if things
it's where they should be in it, really. Crystal Palace. They shouldn't be any higher or lower than that.
They would be above Chelsea if things had gone a little bit different. So yeah, look, like we can say, and I can say what I like, but ultimately he's gone down, and I've got no affiliation to them. I don't really like Crystal Palace. I don't really mind them, but when you're gonna, get rid of Patrick Vieira and then you're gonna bring in the likes of Roy Hodgson, apparently, it don't make sense. And you know what? My thing I've always disliked is when clubs come up, they don't put the money in. Like the reason why I kind of don't mind Nottingham Forest is because they're trying to stay up. But you've got these dead teams, just at the bottom, just putting no money in and hoping to stay up. Bro, get the fuck out of the league, man. Get out.
Yeah, they're taking the piss, man. But look, Bilal, they sacked Patrick Vieira on St. Patrick's Day. You get me? Arsenal hitting for 4, Patrick Vieira's shirt number. Where do you stand on the situation on Patrick Vieira before we move on to the Arsenal situation and the league?
I think it was a stupid move, to be honest. I mean, obviously, it's a results-based business. I think that's why they've gone on it. But when you actually look at the nitty-gritty of it, they defended well. Their problem was they don't score enough goals. That's where their problem lies. And as Guna just said, when they haven't given him a striker, this is the result of that. They're literally not scoring enough goals. They're not playing badly. They gave us a run for our money as well when we played them. I think they give everyone a good game, to be honest. They're not getting dashed about left, right, and centre. They haven't got the firepower up front. Simple as. And I mean, I don't think they've been beaten like this by many teams this season. The way Arsenal just beat them. So the second he's gone, and they've been beat like this by Arsenal, kind of just shows that probably the players even stood with him, and they just can't be Arsenal. The season's a write-off in their eyes.
It's a bit mad, isn't it? It's a bit mad because
it don't make sense. I just don't think it's done him any justice at all. At the end of the day, everyone knows they're kind of a bang average club. Expectations aren't high for Crystal Palace, but if you're not going to give someone the tools to be able to do the job, then don't blame him when he can't do it. Simple as that.
No, 100 agree with you. And look, yeah, Crystal Palace, even though they weren't getting that many goals defensively, they have been pretty good. And look at it, Patrick Vieira goes, they come to Arsenal and they get spanked up. And realistically, it could have been more. I didn't actually watch the game fully until after Mother's Day, and I couldn't get a table till like 2:00 when the game was kicking off. So obviously, family over everything. So I had to book the table for Mother's Day, and then actually got back in and watched the game afterwards. And realistically, it could have been well more than 4, to be honest with you. I think the way Arsenal played football, it was just free flowing, silky football. Players now are just relishing the opportunity to go on and win that league. But look, Bilal Usman got spanked up, 7-0 by Liverpool. Yeah, obviously, I don't want to bring that one back in around and make you have some nightmares over it. But look, Liverpool could beat anyone on the day. Do you think Liverpool are going to have a big say in who wins the title? You got to think they've got Liverpool next. We go to Anfield in a few weeks after Leeds. What do you reckon? Do you reckon Liverpool are going to
I think
have a big say?
I think they get spanked at Etihad. I think they'll get spanked at the Etihad. But yes, bro. But at you lot at Anfield, I don't know. I could see that being your banana peel, maybe a draw, or maybe a late goal. I don't know, or just a day where I don't think there's gonna be a day now for Arsenal where they're just not on it, because now this is your sole focus for the next 10 games. You got nothing else now to focus on. It's just this for 10 more games. So I can't see the players not being focused, but it could just be one of them days like Sporting where things just don't go your way. And you just don't put your chances away, and Liverpool might get the odd chance. But I don't know. The only reason I say all this is because I just can't see Liverpool as they've only lost once this season at Anfield, haven't they? I just can't. Besides Liverpool, I can't see them losing. That's the thing. So even if it's a draw for you, it's a slip up if City win. But at the same time, I can't see Arsenal losing, which is why I'd say a draw.
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. It's one of them grounds where we haven't been really efficient at Anfield in quite a few years. And personally, I think if we could maybe draw against Liverpool and beat City, or beat Liverpool and draw against City, I think that will work well in our title running. And I think we'll then get over the line, because for me, Guna, City, Newcastle and Liverpool is where the money's going to have to be earned. You get me, bro? Look, people are saying now the pressure's off Arsenal, the out of Europa League and so on. But for me, I think that gives us a little bit more pressure now, because now the boys are going to have to be sitting back, looking at it, thinking, look, if we end up blowing this last 10 games, we walk away with such a fantastic season and not picking up a trophy. You get me? Do you reckon it's going to have that much of an impact on the lads?
Do you know what, though? It's a weird one with the Liverpool thing, right? Like, you see them play even at home, and I'm like, I'm not worried about Liverpool. I am, okay, look, I'm worried about Liverpool in the sense of they are a great team. I'm more worried because they turn up against the big teams, not because of anything else, because they've not been great this season. And you actually look at their performances, they've not been good. And I think their midfield is horrible, but they might then have Thiago back, and he's going to make a huge difference, because we're looking at this team right now and look, the midfield looks crap, but they look crap because they don't have, some certain players that are in there. I just think that it's a weird one. I look at that fixture and I'm like, it could really go either way. We could just turn up and batter them, or we could turn up and get thumped by them. And I think I'm more looking on the turnout side of we won't lose. That's where I'm looking at. I don't know if we'll be able to, win, but we won't lose. And you look through Van Dijk like right now, he's not the same guy. Kanata is making mistakes. Trent's getting moved to every bloody game. Robertson's looking a bit more tired. You look at that team and I don't know whether if it's the right thing to say, but they do look more of a paper team right now. I don't know if they're the same team that we need to worry about. And look, I could come in the weekend after that or the Monday after that, and I'm like, yo, we got absolutely battered. But there's something with that game where I'm like, I don't know if it's as bad or as big of a deal if we go there, because I'm more warming towards we might actually do something a little bit better.
They've lost Nunes is out now as well, isn't he?
Actually, again, if that's true, I don't know. But
yeah, he's out. He's out. So that's a massive blow for them.
Do you know how long for?
I think he's gonna miss the Liverpool game.
What, the Arsenal game?
The Arsenal game, yeah.
So look, that's what I think. I think
big blow.
If you look at the Arsenal team, we've got all our players pretty much other than Saliba, who hopefully should be back. They're looking like they've got a few players that are out. Luis Diaz shouldn't really be back. Jota is coming back. Mo Salah's looked a bit quiet at times, but it's going to be a difficult game, man. Listen, the game that I'm more worried about is the Newcastle away game. That's the game where I'm a little bit like shit, because let's say that, things equal out and Man City beat us and we draw it or whatever it is at Liverpool, or we win. That Newcastle game can be the difference, because that's nearer the end of the season. That's similar to where we were last season when we played. That's the game where I think it could just turn, and then that gives Man City the last 3 or 4 games to just say, do you know what, we're going to ham it home. So that's the game where I'm more worried about. I think the Chelsea at home game is going to be difficult, but we should be able to, and we can beat them. Brighton at home should be able to, and we can beat them. The Newcastle game is is one where I'm like, do you know what, bro? Newcastle going for top 4. Man United are still, there and there about Spurs as well. So I think that's going to go to the wire as well. So that's where I'm more worried about. I think with the Liverpool one, it is what it is. I think we can maybe get a draw out of that, and we are 8 points clear. So let's see, man. Liverpool have to do something. 100%. Liverpool have to do somehow. They cannot drop points in that, or they have to drop points in that game in some way.
Yeah, I just hoping and praying that Liverpool can do something, because all the hurt Man City have give them over the years. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to want to really put a stop to their title. And I think it's going to be a bit of a different game. I think everyone's looking at the Manchester United game where they went to Anfield and got pumped up 7-0. If we look through the whole season, even though they've only got beat once, they haven't been so great at Anfield as well, Liverpool. And I don't think that same rivalry occurs when Arsenal play Liverpool. Then when United play Liverpool, the crowd's going to be up for it different.
Even with that, look at both teams' form since that. Liverpool haven't even won a game since then, and we've won every game. So it's looking at the form since that 7-0 as well.
Do you know what? Yeah, Sullivan says as a good point here. He says Premsy, all 10 teams will be up to stop or break the league leaders. Everyone wants to say they stopped Arsenal from winning the league, and I think that's probably incentive for a lot of the teams. And like Arteta's been saying, we got to look at one game at a time, which I totally agree with, because in this league you can't underestimate nobody. You get me? But look at us against Bournemouth. They were the bottom side in the division, and they were up 2 goals. We had to really fight hard to overturn that. Now, these are 10 massive finals for us. If we can get over the line and win this league, what it would do for us, not only this season, but for the next season following, going into that Champions League with a mentality of winners now, it would just be absolutely sick. You get me? I think we do have to be careful of some of the lower league teams that we think that we're just going to brush over, because it's not that easy. These men are all scrapping for relegation. There's so many teams at the bottom that are just like 3-4 points away from being rock bottom. And that's why this league is the best league in the world. You get me? But I think now Gabriel Jesus coming back into the team is going to be massive. You get me? I think since he's come in, yeah, he hasn't got his goal, but you can see that sharpness is coming back. You can see the ideas are there and what he offers to the team. And I think with Man City, I think the pressure's a little bit on them more, because everybody is looking at Man City thinking, you know what, these are going to win the league. I think barring Arsenal fans, a lot of opposing fans still think City are favourites because they got the know-how to get over the line. But at the same time, they're in the Champions League. They haven't won the Champions League. So at what stage are they going to be going full throttle in both competitions?
110%, bro. That Champions League, I think they're going to go through against Bayern Munich. I'm just saying, for sure. I'm not going to say 100% because nothing's 100% certain in life, but I'm like 95% sure they are going to drop points. And I'm talking about maybe Liverpool and another game. I just don't like you even think about the Crystal Palace game. I think they've got too many games out there, and they're not playing like this amazing football. Now, look, I know they're going to talk about the Champions League and they're going to talk about the FA Cup, but that's not the Premier League where teams are fighting like dogs. You're right. They've still got to go Brighton. They've still got to go. So they've still got Brighton. They've still got Brentford away. Like they've got some games where they don't have to win. They can draw, and that will help Arsenal, I think. So I'm just saying, look, I think there's going to be a real difference in terms of what we think, and I think eventually, like, we will get it over the line. I just think that I think that the way that people are looking at it in terms of we're going to drop points against and they're going to, I think it's going to just be a bit different. I think there's going to be a lot more disparity in what people think, but it is what it is, isn't it?
You know what? I think we've done unbelievable to get to this point anyway. You get me? Obviously, I'm not going to lie. I was seriously pissed off going out the Europa League. Obviously, I know a lot of fans like to butter it up and say, oh, now we can fully focus on the Premier League. Maybe that might be the case. But for me, two competitions, one in Europe, one in the Premier League, that should be where Arsenal's aiming at anyway. And I think the recruitment in January enabled us to push for them two competitions. Bringing in Trossard, look what he's done to Arsenal since he's come in. And also with the likes of Jorginho, I wasn't keen on Jorginho first, but since he's come in, you can see the experience shines through. You get me? When he's being called upon, he's done a good job. But Bilal, do you reckon Arsenal have the minerals to get over the line, or do you, as a United fan, think we're going to be bottling it?
I don't think they'll bottle it. The thing is, it's literally I don't think City have kind of been in this position before, where in previous seasons with Liverpool, it boiled down to the final Liverpool and City game of the season, and then it's a 6-pointer either way. It pretty much decide the thing. But even if they beat you, you still have to mess up once, and they have to win all their games to win the league. So they're in a position where even if they beat you, they're relying on you to slip up again. And not only do Arsenal need to slip up again, they have to win that game that you slip up on and win every other game to keep up with you. So I don't really see him slipping up now. And now you've got one sole focus. I think I've been watching a lot of stuff, and people are saying City are focused on the Champions League. They've got the FA Cup as well, and they do like going for that. So they're still in 3 competitions while you've got just one thing to focus on now. And like, was it you or Guna saying that you're going to feel the pressure a bit more now that you're only in one competition? I don't think that's too much of the case now. I think the pressure was already on, and in a sense, I think now the shackles are off and Arsenal can just go for it. Like, clearly, confidence-wise, etc., they're not affected by what happened on Thursday. Like, to go and, I mean, it's only Crystal Palace, but to go and even slap them 4-1, when your confidence is down, you don't put in a performance. Arsenal put in a big performance on Saturday to show that they're not really affected by what happened on Thursday. And it was pretty much a statement of intent that this is what we're going for now, and we ain't going to stop. So, like I said, it's in Arsenal's hands, and I don't think, from what I seen on Saturday, I don't think they're going to mess it up.
Now, you know what, Bilal, I agree with you, but going into the international break, 8 points clear at the top. Obviously, when we got beat by City, even myself, I was thinking, it might be a little bit sticky now, depending on how we bounce back from this defeat. But now we managed to create that gap now between us and City. Is that putting some serious doubt in City's minds now, thinking, you know what, even when we do close the gap, Arsenal end up extending it somehow again? Do you reckon that would give us the edge in winning the title, with City not being used to fighting year in, year out against a team like Arsenal? We know that they've been battling Liverpool year in, year out. This is something new for them. Do you think they've still got the same hunger and desire in the league?
I think they've got the same hunger and desire. My issue is with Man City. I don't think they're too worried, because they know that they've got games to play. They've got a game in hand, and they also know that we've got some difficult games. And I don't think that they trust that we're going to be able to do it. So, yeah, I look at it and I think after the Man City versus Liverpool game, we'll know a little bit more. Because if Man City lose or they draw, that puts it all in our hands, because we can eventually go, I believe, 11 points clear with the game in hand as well. So I think then you're looking at the 9 games, and then, you know, you can almost say that, you know what, you can write off 2 games. You can Arsenal can physically lose 2 games and just win the rest of the game. So I think after that, currently right now, all we have to do, if you think about it, we have to win 8 out of 10 games, I believe, and then we can win the league. So it's man, it's
You know what? It's looking promising, bro. We've only lost 3 times this season. You get me? And we got 10 games to go. I can't see us losing 3 games in 10. I think William Saliba, big loss, but I think Rob Holding growing his hair, now becoming Holdini. He looks like he could step up, and he's always been a professional player. And I think alongside Gabriel and alongside Ben White and even Kieran Tierney stepping in at times, Zinchenko, that will only improve his performances. And I think we can rely on him as well. I think he's going to want to win that league. He's been at Arsenal for years now. He's going to be hungry, and it's a perfect opportunity for him to show the fans that he is a part of this squad. You get me? Because I've been around long enough, and Rob Holding, when he first came onto the scene, for me, he was a very, very good talent. You get me? We got him from Bolton for pennies. He looked the part, got an injury, came back, and he wasn't quite the same player. But when he has been asked upon and come into the team, he's done very well. People forget as well, when we played against Man City at the Etihad in the FA Cup, he pretty much dealt with Haaland in that first half. You get me? And then,
bro, we're not doing this though, man.
No, he did though, bro, because I was at the game and I was watching it. You get me? And to be fair, he came off halftime and Thingy came on, William Saliba, and then obviously it kind of went a little bit tits up. But Holding held his own. It was he did all right in that first half, in my opinion.
Bro,
so I'm not too worried with Holding now. I think we've got enough there.
Bro, I'll be honest with you, Holding ain't it, bro.
For 10 games, he's got to fucking do something, bro. I'm telling you now. And he looked all right against Palace.
Bro, I'm being so real with you. Holding playing more than 2 games, bro, fuck the title, man. Don't even bother with it, bro. Like, I'm telling you, if Holding has to play the lead, I can probably stretch the Leeds, but even Leeds ain't crap. If Holding's playing games for Arsenal in the league, playing all the games, bro, it ain't it, bro. The guy.
You know what, though? We got no concrete news on it, William Saliba, though. It's someone asked in the comments, there's no concrete news. He might be out for a few weeks, but knowing Arsenal, I think he could be out for about a month or so. And that's my personal opinion, especially if it's something to do with a back injury as well, because you can't really play too much on your back because it's a serious injury, your back. But Rob Holding, he's got to step in now. He's got to prove his worth.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, I'm just trying to keep it real with you. The way that we play when we have to play with Holding, the way that we have to, the high line thing, Holding is not the one, man. I'm telling you. And listen, if that was a confident Crystal Palace, they would have done a little bit more yesterday. I think they were I think because they sacked the manager, I think the manager was like, you know what? Let's maybe do the damage limitation thing. We take a loss, but not kill the goal difference too much. And I think obviously they lost Anderson as well, which is a huge miss for them, their centre back. And then I just think with Holding, look, you know what you're going to get from him, but we ain't good with 2 front forward defenders, centre backs. Gabriel, he then has to change his game. And then I think the midfield with the likes of Partey, like he has to change his game. I think the likes of Ben White, I think because you know that you have to get back a lot more, he has to change his game. He can't get like, I'll be honest with you, bro. I ain't gonna be on it. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I ain't gonna try and say it just for the sake of it. Rob Holding at Enfield, Rob Holding at Newcastle, not Rob Holding against Man City, Rob Holding even against West Ham and the likes of what's his name, Antonio, or like, bro, it ain't it, man.
But Lee, you need to remember, he can do it though. In the FA Cup, when we beat Man City, when we beat Liverpool, when we beat Chelsea, we've got 10 games to go, fam. You get me? If we got no Tomiyasu, but look, we got no Tomiyasu, yeah. We got no Tomiyasu. We got no Tomiyasu, yeah. So Ben White can't fill into the centre back position. He's the only player now that we've got. So we got to have some kind of belief in him for these last 10 games. You get me?
You're missing my point. I'm just retaliating to the point where I think, I'm not saying you, but like when people kind of say, oh, well, like it's only 10 games. I saw him against Haaland. He did it in the FA Cup, bro. He did that in the FA Cup when I had hair, my guy, bro. Do you know how long ago that was? Like,
bro, that was 2020. You only had no hair for 2 years, fam. 3 years.
He was bloody marshalled by the likes of Per Mertesacker that game. And listen, it was a great performance, but that was pre-injury. That was a long time ago, man. It just, listen, football's moved a lot since then. And I think for me, nah, bro, listen, anything to do with Rob Holding and any sort of long-term, replacement, bro, I'm
I
just going
don't
back on
know.
that one
He's
thread.
grown his hair now. You get me? So I'm looking at him like a new man in it. That's what I'm telling you. I'm just praying and hoping he could do it because look, you talked about the Mertesacker days, but I'm only talking about 2020 when we won the FA Cup under Mikel Arteta. Rob Holding was in them teams when we beat Man City, beat Liverpool, and beat Chelsea. So that was with players not like Ben White aside him, not like Zinchenko, not with an Aaron Ramsdale behind him. Them players around him, they could give him that push. Yeah, he's had that little bit of a confidence booster this weekend. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Obviously, it's not no William Saliba, and we all know we need to improve on Rob Holding going forward. But he's the only player we got now. Yeah, get me. And I think in a lot of them games, he can do a job. Yeah, against at Anfield, against Liverpool, at the Etihad, it is going to be a bit of a sticky one, but we've seen Rob Holding put in performances. And if you tell me we haven't seen Rob Holding put in performances, bro, then we must have been watching different games over the years. You get me? I'm not saying he's a consistent player, and I'm not saying he's the guy that we need as backup moving forward. But he's the only person we've got right now. You get me? And I'm trying to just be positive. I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
throw no
yeah.
negativity on it. You get me, bro? I'm not trying to
100%.
jinx nothing.
1,000%, yeah. And even I think I just seen a comment from Rebel saying, "Commonly, don't hate Holding." Where did I say I hate Holding, bro? This is what I don't like about football fans, right? They try and like pretend that they haven't seen, bro. In Rob Holding's career, I'll be honest with you, in the last 2 years, I've seen more bad performances than good performances. So why am I not gonna now sit here and be honest and say, bro, Rob Holding ain't good, bro. Rob Holding doesn't even get in the West Ham centre backs and they're 18th. He doesn't get over Aguerd and he doesn't get over Zuma for me. Why is it that I am now being chastised for thinking that, bro, if Rob Holding is the person that we have to rely on, he ain't good, bro. He's not like, I don't get like why people sort of have this sort of thing where, bro, like at the end of the day, I'm backing the guy, bro. I'm backing the team, but I'm also going to be real and say, bro,
You worried?
I'm worried, bro, because if
Yeah.
we have to rely on this guy, we are fucked because he ain't good enough, bro. Like, so
I'm
like,
just hoping it's 3 weeks though, and if we can do
that's what I'm
3
saying,
weeks, we're all right. We can, but it's just about keeping his confidence up as well. And that's the way I'm seeing it. I just hope that the boys around him can bring the best out of him. You get me? But look, let's move on from Arsenal now, yeah. And we got Bilal here. Let's talk a little bit about Manchester United before we talk about Conte and Tottenham. We'll save him to last because I think that's going to spare on for a little bit. But look, Bilal, yous man are in the Europa League now in the latter stages. In the semi-final of the FA Cup. There's teams hot on your heels in the Premier League. Is there a chance that man can drop out of the top four?
Easily. The thing is, yeah, United have been playing shit. I'll be honest. They've actually been like Sunday was shocking. Honest to God, I was falling asleep watching that game. It was shocking. And then I had my volume like mid to low, and then I heard the crowd rile up, and that's when the whole handball thing happened when Anthony went on the run. So that's when I looked at my screen. From then on, I was like paying attention, but like the game was just the performance was shocking. I tried to put it down to I don't want to go too in because they've done very well this season, so I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt and just assume that they looked very leggy. Obviously, every 3 days since Jan, then they must be tired by now. But it was a very, very poor performance, I've got to say. But the thing is, no matter what, even if it's just something as bizarre, that is a 1 in 100, 1 in 200 game thing that happened with Fulham just throwing it away. It very rarely happens.
Mad.
But no matter whatever the situation is, bar the Liverpool thing, they keep finding a way to win. And like you look at the scoreline of that game, and it's not a reflection of at all of what happened in that game. We got battered by Fulham. Be honest, at home they absolutely had us on our toes. Even up until that attack, I think that counter attack was actually from a very good David De Gea save, and we counter attacked, got the penalty, and then the rest was history. But yeah, it's like it feels like we're getting very lucky, but then it's just like, is the luck going to run out, or is it because people say you make your own luck as well?
Yeah.
So it's one of them. Like, I'm just kind of torn. Like, are we just going to keep going and finding a way every game? I mean, so far he's delivered on everything, or like every time a question's asked of him, he seems to have delivered. But it's just like, is there going to be a situation where, because realistically, coming out, I don't think we're going to come out with 3 trophies and top 4. Something's got to give. I think he's done very, very, very well. If he comes out with all 3 trophies and he maintains top 4, he's done amazing for a first season. But something's got to give. The thing is, even with something like the FA Cup, if we play like that against Brighton, they will punish us straight up. They will score more than one.
Top football inside Brighton.
They will put us away very easily. I think the players know that as well. But I don't know what it is. What's annoying me a bit is, yeah, they can be tired and I can understand that, but they always seem to find a way to step it up in the second half. So they have got that energy within them. But why do they keep coming out into a game so flat first half? It's behaving like Tottenham a bit. You know what I mean? Just the difference is with us and Tottenham don't always get the job done. 9 times out of 10, we've been getting the job done in the second half. But why do they keep coming out so flat? I don't understand. Like, I can say that they're tired, but then they're finding the energy in the second half to get through the game. So what is it? Because they must be getting a pep talk before the game. They're warmed up before the game. Why are they coming out so flat? And like, we got battered against Leicester. We're getting battered against so many teams in the first half, and we just got lucky that we've got a pretty good defense and a very good goalkeeper on good form at the moment. So I don't know, something definitely has to give in terms of, we're not going to win everything and get everything we want. I don't know what it's going to be though.
It's going to be sticky though as well, because you got to think Sevilla are a good side, man. They got heritage in the Europa League. They won it numerous times.
They were our banana peel as well. We always seem to slip up against them. So this is the thing. I think if Ten Hag's looking at it and he's saying something's got to give, because obviously the priority over anything, I'd say he's got the trophy now that the team needed, but the next priority is Champions League next season. Now he's going to do that through top 4, or he's going to do that through winning the Europa League. Obviously now, as of now, and I think in logical sense, top 4 is the more safer way to go about it. So if he comes to a point where he's going to have to prioritize the league or the Europa League, he's going to prioritize the league. But the other side to that is, I think we've seen pretty clearly now with he's pretty much made a statement that he will play a pretty much full strength team in every tournament. He does want everything. There's not been a game besides, I think, our second leg against Betis where we were 4-1 up and it was pretty much game done. There's not really been a game where he's dropped 8 players and just swapped them out for youths and just said, I don't care about this tournament, basically showing that he doesn't care. He's playing Rashford, Bruno, either Shaw, Dalot or Basaka. He's playing them in every single game, which shows his intent. He wants everything. But now with the way the team's getting very leggy now, he's going to have to start dropping players. We've lost Garnacho now as well, I think, for pretty much the rest of the season. We've got no Eriksen. Casemiro's gone for the next 4 games as well. So something's got to give now. So it's going to be interesting to see what he prioritizes. But I think if he does prioritize, he's going to prioritize the league, which I would say is a smart decision, because with cup competitions, you never know. You can have a bad day and you're out.
You know what, though? I think one thing that you touched on, and I'm going to come to Lee with this as well. Look, they're in a lot of competitions still. You get me? If you look at the table, Newcastle on 47 points, same amount of games as United, only 3 points behind him. Tottenham, 49 points, 1 point behind him. Obviously, they play 2 more games. There's teams there. Liverpool, same amount of games, 8 points behind him. City at 8 points behind us. You get me? If City could catch us, why can't Liverpool catch United? Do you know what I mean? And do you reckon when we have been seeing United of late, like Bilal touched on, they have been looking leggy. They look like they've been run into the ground. They've not really had much rest. They've been playing every 3 days. If they was to come out of the top 4, not win the Europa League and not win the FA Cup and finish with the Carabao Cup, for me, I think that's a disaster season for United.
That is, yeah. The other side to that is, though, the flip side. The team that's chasing you is a lot better than the shit that's chasing us. Tottenham, disaster class. Newcastle fell off. Liverpool, I don't think they're consistent enough to even be challenging. So
I don't think you can call them shit after what they done to you.
Brighton and Brentford have had excellent seasons, but I don't think they're chasing the top 4, I'll be honest. So it's Liverpool who are shit, Spurs who are shit, and Newcastle who, in my opinion, just aren't good enough just yet. So that gives me a bit more security in feeling that. Whereas what's chasing you are a bunch of serial winners of the Premier League.
And I agree with that. Listen, I said, other than the Man United 08-19, when you had Berbatov and you had Rooney and you had Tevez and you had Ronaldo, I don't really feel like there's a better team or equal team that's ever chased us other than this team. I think Haaland up front. I think with De Bruyne, still on the cusp of being one of the best players in his position. You've got Bernardo Silva, Foden, Jack Grealish. Like the money they've spent and what they've done with that team, I think it's really difficult for Arsenal to win the league because of who's chasing us. I think Bilal's so right. Whereas I think with Man United, they can literally not win every single game, and Man United and Spurs will do what Spurs do. We saw on the weekend, you're 3-1 up, and we're going to get onto it, and you still don't win the game. And you've got Liverpool. You lose it, you beat Man United 7-0, and in the next game, you don't even pick up 3 points, not pick up 1 point against Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth, apologies. Crazy. So I think Man United, they'll get top four. They'll get top four. Now, what I don't know if they'll do, I don't think that they're going to win famous treble that they're talking about. I think the Europa League, they can do that. They can put all their eggs in that basket. I would just keep playing if I was Man United. Keep trying to grind it out. The international break may come at a good time for you. I don't really know if it is because most of your players are going away, other than Rashford, who pulled out today. But listen, there's a great chance for you to do something really good. I'm not going to say it'll be a failure. I'm not going to be that shameless because listen, I had Man United at 6th place this season. So for me, I'm not going to.
I'm with you, bro. I thought these men were looking 8th, 7th, bro.
I'm not going to now change my opinion to make it seem that, I'm not going to do what people are doing with this whole Rob Holding that now he's a world class player.
Holding it, put some respect on his name. You're not seeing that headband, Jake.
Nah, man, I'm gonna say, look, it's still gonna be a good season. I'm not gonna come out here and pretend that I didn't say that they're gonna finish low. So listen, big up Ten Hag, man. Like he's done some good things. I think he's still got a lot to learn. I'm not gonna change my opinion on that. I do think he's got a lot to learn. I don't think he's this messiah that everyone makes him out to be. I don't think Rashford's this world-class player that people make him out to be. But I also think that they are doing a lot better than what I thought. So credit to Man United, man. I will say that because as I said, at the start of the season when you lost to Brighton, I think, and then Brentford, it was spooky for you, man. And I'm sure, listen, you, Bilal, you would know more than most. So yeah, fair play, man.
Yeah, it felt like a continuation of last season at that point.
He's done well tonight. You got to give him his credit.
Like the season never ended. It's mad, but
you know what? Yeah, I think with Ten Hag, I think the reason why people might look at it as a failure is because they have been quite consistent since they've lost them couple of games at the start of the season.
It's ours to lose now.
Yeah, exactly that.
But the point is, as well, we are slipping up. We lost points against who did we play? Southampton 0-0.
Yeah, but the Southampton.
We are slipping up. We lost.
I'm gonna give you credit for that one.
And what's behind us isn't taking the advantage of that. If you man were slipping up, City would be on your ass. You know what I mean?
I'll give you credit for the look, fair. Finally, I'll give you credit for the Southampton game because look, you got 10 men, and I do think it was a penalty, but I do think it was a red card. But look, that happened. That can happen. Fine, whatever. You would have.
Yeah, my point being that we have had a couple of slip ups in the last couple of weeks, and this is them man's opportunity to close the gap, catch up. I mean, to some extent they have, but no one's even taken us off third spot yet. You know what I mean? I don't think we've been great since the Liverpool game. We've got some results, but we haven't been great. And these shitbags below us, they just can't. They don't know what opportunity when they see it. That's the thing.
I just want to say as well, yeah, I think Casemiro's the new Granit Xhaka of the Premier League as well. I'm just throwing it out there now. I'm telling you now, yeah, I think referees are going to be on him like a hot cake.
I felt bad for him, man. I felt bad for him. Like it was a bad. It was a red card, but it wasn't with malice. You know what I mean? That's the thing, bro.
But you know what the problem is, though. Why it's hard to give him any credit is because, unfortunately, Man United fans have put him as the best DM in the world. Man United fans have kept saying over and over again, "This guy's coming. He's got all the experience," but he keeps.
You know what I think it is? It's because we've longed for that for so long. I've not been one of them to say best DM in the world.
That's fine. That's fine.
Do you know when you don't have some? Do you know when you've longed for something for so long and you finally get it, and it's just that?
Bro, we know exactly how you feel, man. Tommy,
it's that gratitude that this is what we've needed for so long. I think that's why it's coming out more. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a DM, bro. Like, the most talked about player is usually a strike like Haaland, a striker banging in stupid amounts of goals. We don't care. Like, yeah, we're buzzing off Rashford, but I think Casemiro gets the same amount of praise as Rashford's revival. You know what I mean? But normally, naturally, if Casemiro was just another player that we added to the squad and we weren't longing for a DM for so long, everyone would just be purely talking about Rashford. The whole world, whole United fan base would be ranting and raving about him. But because it's been like 7 years, 8 years that we've not had a good, solid DM, that's why now all this gratitude and all this buzz is coming out about Casemiro. So I think that's part of it as well. Obviously, he's very good. He's done a lot. It's just because it's something the fan base hasn't seen.
All I know, you froze there, so we didn't quite catch what you just said.
Was it me?
Yeah.
It's something the fan base hasn't seen for the best part of 10 years. It's a defensive, like a part of a squad, just like Partey is to you lot. We haven't seen that for like 8 years. We've had fucking lumps of shit in that part of the midfield. So now it's just like an extra appreciation that there's finally someone there, and he is someone that's high quality as well.
No, he definitely is the glue. He definitely is the glue to Manchester United. You see that when he's in that midfield.
3 suspensions now, like it's literally it's a total of 7 Premier League games he's actually missed through suspension now. It's a bit mad.
No, it is mad. But look, we're 40 minutes in. We got to get on to Tottenham before we wrap it up. But Guna, I'm not going to lie. I think Tottenham has just spoke the truth. He spoke what most people are thinking. You get me? Obviously, the media are all over it, saying he's disrespecting this, disrespecting that. But what do you want this man to do? This guy's coming on a short-term contract, expecting for these players to get behind him, work to his plan, and go and win something. Look at Sheffield United there in the semi-final of the FA Cup, the team that knocked Tottenham out. He's right when he says that these men got no fire in the belly, no fire in their eyes. They asked just about their own records. He must be talking about Harry Kane and Son there. Get me? And he's saying these men ain't looking to win nothing. You can replace me with whoever you want, but these men ain't looking to win nothing. You need to have that winning mentality throughout the squad and not be selfish. Where do you stand on this Conte situation? Do you think he's just saying all this because he knows he's fully gone and he's just throwing everyone under the bus, or he's just had enough of just these man just being Spursy, like typical?
Listen, I've been trying to say to Patrick over the last couple of weeks, bro, Conte ain't the guy. Their squad ain't good. I don't really know what more we can kind of talk about. And I think, look, was Conte right for saying those things? In truth, yes. But the thing that I don't like about him is he's saying all these things and he's not taking no accountability. He's not talking about the fact that he's brought in Danjuma and he's not playing him. He's not talking about the fact that somehow he brought in Richarlison, who's crap. Richarlison is rubbish. I don't get like this whole him not scoring goals. I don't know if he scored more than 10 goals in a Premier League season. He's not great. He's not the answer. Then what you've got, the likes of Emerson that he keeps playing week in and week out. He chose these players and he's choosing these players. And then when he comes out and calls players selfish, name names. If that's what you're saying, because then you leave a lot of ambiguity. You leave, less direction for people to kind of aim the anger at. So even in that regards, you know you're leaving. Just say names. Who is it that you're talking about? Is it the board? Is it the past? Is it currently? So look, like there's a whole host of people that you can blame, but ultimately I'm putting a lot of it down to Conte, because at the start of the season, all those weird Tottenham fans kept saying they won the trophy. They won the transfer window and they wanted the trophy for that. Tapping Tobes, he told me he is winning a trophy. He told me Conte is winning a trophy. So he must have been happy with the board at that point, to some respect, because he got the players that he felt was enough with the manager to win a trophy. So now you can't keep saying, oh, it's Tottenham this and it's the board this. You need to sometimes put a little bit on the manager and say, look, this is what you have been asked to do and you're failing. And all these weird Tottenham fans, and I'm going to call you weird, this guy keeps saying that Tottenham ain't this, Tottenham ain't that, Tottenham ain't shit. And they're backing him. They're like, oh, yeah, Conte defender, Conte defense league. Bro, they got their capes on, with Conte on the back of it, bro, acting like fucking he's about to come in and, I don't know, bro, save the day for them, bro. Like, he's the reason why they're in this bloody mess. He's the reason why they They bloody went out to AC Milan with that crap team, and they've lost game after game after game in the Serie A. And then you got to look at Sheffield United. They got banged over by them when they made all those changes. Listen, mate, I'm sick of hearing about Conte. I'm sick of hearing about Tottenham. The sooner he goes, and then they leave, and say all the other players leave, the better, mate. Listen. I'm telling you now. This is the death of Spurs Football Club, and I cannot wait for it to actually come to fruition. It's so great.
Conte out, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. Is that what's going on? This is going to be a mad thing.
I can't wait. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'm sorry, but I'm sick of these Tottenham fans just chatting crap all the time, acting like they're this huge club, mate.
You're speaking truth, because we've said time and time again, even when Patrick has been on the show, we've said Conte needs to take responsibility. You get me? At what point is Conte going to start taking some kind of responsibility when he's not changing the system, he's not changing the tactic, he's not playing players that he's brought in? Look at Jed Spence. Jed Spence, I'm telling you now, yeah, if he came in and he was playing right back over Emerson Royale at the start, when Emerson Royale was just absolute a pile of shit, he would have been a better player. He was one of the most promising right backs in the country last year. You get me? The guy signed, didn't really get a game. Basuma, he's turned in from a top quality Premier League midfielder to a pile of shit. You get me? Richarlison can't buy a goal, fam. It's mad.
Do you know what cracks me up about this whole Conte guy as well? All right, so say you're talking about the Jed Spence thing. When bloody Arteta came in and he sent out Saliba on loan, everybody, every rival fan, even some Arsenal fans, was like, "Oh my God, Arteta doesn't know what he's doing. He's got this generational talent. He's doing this, he's doing that. How can you send him out on loan when you're keeping Louise?" But look how Conte's treating Jed Spence. But no one talks about that. He just gets away with, "Oh, he's not my signing." But neither was Saliba. But he had a plan. But with Jed Spence, it just seems like, "Oh, I'm not going to play him because I want to prove something to the board, or I don't want him, and whatever it is that he." Why is it that he gets away with so much murder? If this was Arteta, we've seen it. Arteta had the issue with Saliba. We were all like, "Bro, like he's probably got a plan." But some people were like, "Okay, fine. Like, why are you keeping all these other crap players and you're sending him out on loan?" There was a clear plan. It's clear, like you can see, he wanted to go back. He wasn't happy with, I think his mum passed away.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that. I think that was a smart move.
That was a smart move, but we didn't maybe see it at the time. And all these rival fans were like, "Oh, Arteta, he doesn't know what he's doing." Da, 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 da. All of a sudden now, Conte, he can do what he likes. He can treat Jed Spence how he wants. He can treat Basuma, as you said, how he wants. He can, not play Richarlison. I don't even know if Danjuma's got any Premier League minutes, and he came in January. We're now in March. Next week is payday. It's almost the end of March, and he's not going to have training. Bro, it's craziness. And he's just getting away with it. It's crazy.
No, it's mad. But look, yeah, Bilal, I think Guna's got a big point there, man. Like, Conte seems to be getting away with murder. He's kind of threw the club and everybody under the bus in the sense of not making signings. Even with Daniel Levy, like for years, they've not won a trophy, 20 odd years. It's not going to change. He's finished now, innit? There's no way he's getting a contract extension at Tottenham.
Not as he fuck, no. But the thing is, yeah, I don't like that he's I think it was yesterday or today, he's come out and backtracked half of what he said. Own it, bro. You said it. You say that you speak the truth when you're angry. Have you heard that saying before? He was pissed. He was pissed on Saturday. He spoke the truth.
And when you're pissed, you speak the truth as well.
Pissed. Yeah. Own it. You said it, man. Everyone heard it. There's no hiding from it now. Just own it. He looks like the type of guy that would normally own what he says. Say, yeah, I back it. But he's not. He's backtracking. To what? To save your job at a shit club. Why? You don't want to be there. It's very clear you don't want to be there. You're not happy there. They're not. If you feel like you're being injusticed with funding or desire or whatever the players you've been given, then you want to be out. Why are you trying to? What are you? You're not trying to save face if you've exposed them. You're trying to save your job. There's plenty of other clubs that'll take him. So I don't.
Do you know what though with Conte? I think he's trying to. I think he's trying to backtrack a little bit, because I think with him,
he realizes he's got 10 games left in the season.
Exactly
and these players are going to turn on him completely.
Yeah, and he ain't even going to make top 4, and his record's going to be even shitter.
I think he was. I truthfully think he was expecting to get a club statement on Sunday, and it didn't happen. So he's like, "Shit, I got to go in on Monday, and I've got to train these same players that I've just gone in on for 10 more games." So it's not looking good for him, bro.
As I said, it's weird. I don't understand how this guy can treat Spurs the way he does.
And he
doesn't
got
want
away
to,
with it. It's mad.
gets away with it, and
He-
he's not. And but the Spurs fans,
he's treating him like a little hoe, innit? That's
Oh,
what
I
he's
literally
doing.
went on their
fans-
Twitter on Sunday to see a club statement. Nothing. I was
bro,
like, rah.
the Spurs
He actually
fans,
got away with this.
the Spurs fans are like, yeah, well done, Conte. Well done for coming out and saving our club. Please stay. I'm like, these men have no shame. Spurs fans, I believe every single Spurs fan is that they're the type of person that you let your girl cheat on you and you just take her back, bro. No sorry. Not even no sorry. That's the kind of fan.
The thing is, yeah.
Bro,
There's
Hey,
so much.
the guy said
so
no, sorry, you know.
no sorry, bro. You can
Blow
take a
the
girl
back.
back.
Wait,
You
yeah,
can take
in what he
somebody back.
said.
You know what? Like, if you want to do that, but they'll be like, you know, yeah, no worry, babe. Just come and sleep on the bed. I'm gonna sleep next door. You can have the bed, bro.
Oh
That's
my
what it's
God.
like, bro. I'm like, yo, grow a pair of balls, mate. Come on, grow a pair of balls and
Thing is, yeah.
take some ownership, man.
There's so much weight in what he said.
Mm.
A lot of weight in what he said. I agreed with so much of what he said, but bro, where are you taking some responsibility for this as well? You know what I mean?
No, he's
Like,
definitely not.
how are you dusting this on all the plate? I mean, you're getting, like he said, word for word, I've received money. Yeah, he's being paid to do a job. He ain't delivering. How can the same man that turn up, put a performance in against one of the best Man City teams in the league, then go and just throwing it away against? I mean, they were in the same position against City. They had to sit deep, play, and hold their lead. How can you not do it against bottom of the league? What are you not saying to these players? That's not getting what message is not getting through? How are they playing better and getting better results when you were fucking in hospital recovering, and now that you're back and they're not performing? So he's got to be some responsibility from his side as well. I
No,
think.
definitely.
I don't know. Football is just a weird thing, man. I don't know. I don't know how he can. I agree with so much of what he said, but in that as well, he had to take some responsibility himself, because unless he's a volunteer there and he's not getting paid to do anything, then he is responsible for the players that are on the pitch as well.
There you go.
But the players do need to take. I do hear that the
Yeah,
players
they
do need to take
do, but so
accountability
does
as
he.
well. You get
Otherwise,
me?
if
No, 100.
because if it's just on the players, then there's no place for a manager there.
Basically, he's just trying to point it out, yeah, that these same players have been there for years and they still haven't won fuck
agree
all,
with
have
that as
they?
well. I do agree with that as well. A lot of them players have been there for the same years. They've been under Mourinho, they've been under Poch as well. But the most they've ever achieved under any of these managers is a Champions League final. That is the most they've ever achieved. They've never won anything. So it's not as if they've got like anything behind them to say, like, you're not going to go around and say, we were in a Champions League final. No one remembers the finalists. They remember the winner. So they do need serious change in terms of their players, but in terms of their philosophy as well, they haven't got a history or philosophy of winning trophies. So as long as it stays like that, or even a desire, I mean, City 10 years ago were a team that were not known for anything more than a mid-table finish in the club, but them owners came in with a philosophy. They came in with a desire, a hunger, and a drive, which does link back to the owner.
Mhm.
Obviously, he's not giving it his all. My man's built a fucking NFL stadium. He's thinking about the money he's going to be making in summer from the NFL games. He's not thinking about how am I going to get this team into a top European side.
I think you're right. When Enoch and Levy go and somebody else comes in that actually want to win shit, it's going to be a different turn. But look, I appreciate this comment here. All I do remember is when Conte joined Spurs, some Arsenal fans want him. I wanted Conte, I'm not going to lie, because Conte is a proven winner, you get me? And at the time, we were in such a bad place when we haven't won shit for years, you get me? And I think personally, I honestly believe if Conte come to Arsenal, he'll be doing a much better job at Arsenal than what he would be at Tottenham, because the thing is with us, we actually do spend money and bring in the players that we want. And it is proven over the times that Conte, he does normally win shit. But I'm glad now that isn't the case. You get me? That's why we're not running football clubs, and that's why we're not managers of football clubs.
Everyone knew this, though, that it was never going. This partnership here of Conte and Tottenham was never going to end well.
That's why they give him such a short contract as well.
A guy that if he had enough, he was going to do something like this. It was like everyone knew it, and I don't think anyone said Conte is going to be the guy to get this team to the top. I never thought it. I thought he might improve them, but I didn't see him making them a top club. They've not progressed at all as a club with him. They've not got any further than they were 2 years ago or whatever, however long ago he joined. So It was always going to end like this because at
I'm
the end of
just
the day,
buzzing. Go on. I'm just buzzing
the
though,
type of
Bilal,
manager that cares more about his reputation than his job.
that it was Theo Walcott and Ainsley Maitland-Niles that was the downfall of Tottenham. You get me? The two Arsenal boys, yeah, showing them we're playing out our skin. Won a penalty. Walcott got an assist and a goal in that game as well. You know, bro. Like my mum was on smoke. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I was a bit
What I will
against
say,
Walcott when he celebrated against us, but obviously I let bygones be bygones, and he rectified it with that one.
but that wasn't a penalty, though. I mean, I hate Spurs, but that wasn't a penalty in the last minute, bro. I will be honest with that. Like that refereeing, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't understand how that can be how a contact sport you can't touch anybody. I don't get it. But anyway, listen, you're right.
I think it was more for the high foot. He was trying to give it in it because he did kind of do a kung fu kick. You get me 10 toes to the head and that's what he was trying to do.
I know. It's not a penalty though. For me, that is absolutely ludicrous to give that penalty. But
it's always a penalty against Spurs.
They're gonna lose their manager. Their best player is gonna hopefully go. He's gonna do the right thing, and they're absolutely done. They're finito because Harry Kane's been the driving force for them to get to some sort of mediocrity.
A shadow of himself as well.
There you go. So listen, man, it is what it is. But,
and he looks like he's going. There's rumors going around today on Twitter and everywhere that Harry Kane's looking like he wants out of the club, and I don't blame him, to be honest with you. The guy is a goal machine. For me, I think he's a top class striker. You put him in a team like United, or you put him in a Bayern Munich or somebody like that, he's doing numbers for you. You get me? I think he's doing numbers. But look, what, do you not want him?
No,
do you not want him?
Osimhen.
I don't know. I think
Kane get him, but if you make him pick, I want Osimhen.
I think Kane's like a RVP type
2.0, man. He's proven, but I don't know. Just there's a bit of a buzz about Osimhen right now.
Yeah,
I've been watching him play. There's just a bit of a buzz around him, and I don't know.
He's a quality striker. But Arsenal fans wanted him.
See him linking up with the players that we've got already quite well. I mean, Kane as well. He's proven, but his age, I just think he's not really an exciting player to watch. You know what I mean? He's a finisher. He puts the ball in the net, but I don't know. He's just Osimhen just seems like an exciting player.
I hope you sign Waghurst up on a permanent deal. That's what I hope you do. You get me, fam? I'm telling you now. But look, people, we've come to the end of the stream. I want to say a big appreciation to everyone that's locked in, everyone contributing to the channel, putting comments in. I will try to read out more next time, but obviously when the flow's going, it's hard to interrupt and read the comments out as well. You get me? But make sure you go in the description, click on everyone's link. DSG, City Zone, Goonally, Patrick, even though they're not here, show the man them some love. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe here, and also smash a like on the video, people. But I'm not too sure if we'll be back next week because it's international break, so I might just give it a little one rest, you get me? And I think that's probably the best thing to do. I'm jet lagged, I'm not going to lie. I was sitting on that plane for hours, bro. I'm telling you, the delay was a mad thing, you get me? I'm so tired and packed in, so I think a little 1 week might do me justice just to kick back. But people, peace and love, and we'll see you when we're back.
Peace.